Right? She should be going. I'm a little nervous about this, but I haven't gone live in at least like a couple months. So, yeah. Hopefully it's not too late at night for people to join in the stream. Just hope that I can provide some different type of entertainment and see how this goes. We already have our first viewer. Just gotta wait for a few more people to try to join in, and hopefully we'll have a good time with this. Sorry if I said that name wrong, but thank you for subscribing. Okay, so so far we've got how many people? We got 3 people. And hopefully we can get a few more people in here so we can at least get somewhat of an interesting topic. Says the majority of you so far, like 3 of you have seen the title. You've seen everything. So we're going to be reviewing some FNaF animations today. Some FNaF fight ones, to be more specific. Reason behind this is because I've been seeing that a few more people have been, you know, they've been reviewing these things, and, well, haven't really been too happy with them. I'm not going to say specific names because I don't want any beef with anyone. But, yeah, so we're just going to watch some FNaF fight animations, and everyone can give their own opinions and their own thoughts and everything. And I can, you know, it's basically kind of like a whole fanboy moment, I guess. Maybe not a fanboy moment, but you get what I mean. We're just going to sit down together as a community. We're going to try to watch some FNaF stuff. So I've got like at least like 4 tabs open, and they're all leading to like different channels and stuff. We'll have a very limited source when it comes to Rooster Time because they don't really do these anymore. The same goes for GUZ Prize. But we can mostly rely on Animation Time because they do this like weekly. And they always try to provide and everything. Not really liking too many of the things they're putting out so far, I have to admit. Like Zoonomalies and Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. Like, Poppy Playtime at this point is just taking over this channel. Oh, PK! What's up, dude? See you join the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're ready for some onboard, what's the word, critiques. Because I'm basically going to be like a critic with some of these. And so yeah, I just want to wait until we get a good amount of people in here until we start watching these things. But I guess in the meantime I should like also get one ready.
People call it the biggest small town festival in Minnesota.
And we came up with the idea of creating a community sports table.
The Hershey Company got wind of this, sent 40,000 candy bars.
Made my
Nasty pickle. There's a... Yeah, I'm aware. There's like there's 2 of them. So yeah, and I like them both. I'm gonna continue to try to fix the audio here. Nasty pickle. Alright, I think that may be good enough. Feel free to let me know if it's like too loud or anything like that, because if it's too loud, then I'll probably turn it down. Okay, so we've got pretty wide selection of videos to choose from and review here. So we're just gonna go ahead and review this. We're gonna review the Hoexes versus the Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 characters. I'm not really too sure why Animation Time is so like dead set on like making Poppy Playtime videos, but I guess like they saw how popular the first video they did, like how popular the first one was, so they just, you know, they're just going for it at this point. So yeah, and then they just made their own custom models and they're just going with it. And this one is by one of my favorite animators on YouTube. It's by Walled TV. This guy's amazing. Let's go ahead and review. That has a pretty good start to it. Boom. Okay, so yeah, it has a pretty good start to it. I like where it goes so far. Now this, usually whenever Walled does these, he does a good job. He does a really good job. So I'll just let this play out and we're gonna see what else it does. Yeah, and there's... See, that's one thing I don't really get. If you're gonna make like a custom Poppy Playtime characters, then at least like at least try to come up with your own characters, because there ain't no way you can give me an explanation how Mommy Longlegs is alive right now. While TV's animation fight says so smooth, it is indeed. He is very good at what he does. Now, this one in particular isn't, like, it's sad for me to say, but then we got Catnap being like an actual cat. Now, needless to say, this isn't really the best one, I have to say. I'm sorry if that offends anyone, but this one really isn't the best. Okay, so we gotta talk about that. So he like goes through this whole process where he's just like, he's basically just spamming at this point. He's just like spamming over and over again, just like this tail whip attack. And he hasn't picked up on the fact that Toy Freddy has like learned from it, and he's like coming up with countermeasures and everything. And he's just like, it takes him like 4 or at least 5 or 4 times to realize that he's eventually gonna get countered in some way. And then just also that sound effect. So yeah, usually these animations are really good, It's just, I think what's wrong with it is that it's a little rushed. They had to get this out by Saturday. They always upload. Animation Time always does a good job at making sure that they upload videos on Saturday. And I feel like this was just probably a little rushed. Wald probably had like very little time to like add in everything that he needed to add, like the sound effects and everything, because there's going to be certain points in this animation where there's like no sound effects and no sound cues for like anything. So we'll just go ahead and press play and stop stalling. Oh shoot. Can we just talk about the faces that that's like a whole emote right there. It's just like the type of faces that Wald comes up for with like these Poppy Playtime characters is just like, it's hilarious. At least he has fun with it while he's brushing it. I'm not really sure what's up with like the color difference in like the screen. Well, I guess it's at least he put in all the time and the effort with the animation mattered. That's just disrespectful. Like literally, that is very disrespectful. Yeah, see, like, there's a lot of, you see that? There's, like, a lot of sound effects missing, and I feel like it, like, really would do a lot of favors for the animation if there were sound effects. Like, usually there's sound effects, like, impact sounds and all that stuff, but there's just, like, nothing. There's no footstep sound effects or anything. But other than that, the animation is very good. Yeah, see, like, there's no kick there. Like, there was no kick sound effect. Usually there's a kick sound effect, but there wasn't. Right here. Usually there's a kick sound effect right there, but he didn't add it. Or at least a thud there. And, like I said, it was probably rushed because he had to get it out at a certain time. So, yeah. And then you got the classic, Nightmare JJ trolling her opponents. This is like the one animation too where Toy Freddy, like Withered Toy Freddy from the corpses doesn't die. Because usually in the other animations he dies like, all the time. And Mommy Longlegs is turned into a helicopter. I like what he did there. It's cleverly thought out, but just not as satisfying to watch in just like a death motion. Because usually a lot of these guys get torn up. That's usually a lot more fun to watch. Up, here comes the face. Here comes the face. Yeah. That's a whole, like, I gotta use that as like an image frame I could save or something, but that is a face. But also at the same time, it's like, that's not a satisfying end at all, though, like Catnap just running away, because that's not really something I don't think he would do.
This game of cat and person is delicious. This next part is totally going to hurt.
And there goes the more common trope that's being added in these fights nowadays. That, they're using the voice lines from FNaF AR, you know, like the FNaF game that everyone hates. And I don't understand why he felt like he needed to add that in, but he did. So, yeah. This is a thing that we're going to be seeing a lot of. So, needless to say, the animation itself is really good. It's very smooth, it's well thought out and everything, but it's just, it needed more time and effort to like, think everything out, put all the sound effects in it and everything. But, like I said, it had to come out before the end of Saturday because they always upload weekly. So, yeah, I give this one, like, you know, a solid, I give it a 6 out of 10 for the animation. The sound effects need work, you know, they needed to be put in there. So yeah, there was that. And I kind of feel bad that the views on it aren't doing as good as some other of the videos are doing. But I'm sure, like, as time progresses, they'll get more better ideas for better fights. Now, I did say in the title that I was going to be reviewing some of my favorite FNaF animations, so I prepared a whole playlist of the most peak of animations in a playlist, and just in one playlist by my favorite animator who inspired me to do what I do today, I Can Dry Movies. If you guys don't know who I Can Dry Movies is, he's right there. I managed to befriend him, which is amazing. I got on his Discord server, sent him a request, asked him a question, and like, hey, did you do this? And he's like, yeah, how'd you do it? And yeah, so it's really cool. He's like one of my favorite animators, so you guys are in for a treat. I'm pretty sure he did this one. So this is the Curse of Dreadbear animatronics versus the salvage animatronics. I'm pretty sure he did this one. So that's like a different model of Springtrap. I don't know what model that is, but it's like, yeah. Your favorite is Nightmare VR versus Hellmont. That's one of my favorites too, PK. I like how we have a similar interest in FNaF fights. Because, yeah, Bonnie carried that entire team in that video. That's amazing. We may as well review that one while we're at it. That's another thing I'm very fond of these. It's just the pure movements of what these things are supposed to be like. They're just so real. The movement is so accurate. Yep. Get him, Zephyr. Yeah. Oh, this is sick. I love this one. Okay, now what's sick about that moment specifically is just the pure mass of his body weight just holding him down as you see. Can you imagine that actually coming at you and killing you? That'd be terrifying. And that's why it's so cool. Just him using his foot to hold him down and then him ripping his head off. I love how that's the way of how he had to check. He's like, oh, no, you're cool. You're good. We're cool. And then there's this moment. That's the only thing I don't really like about this. Grim Foxy is he's kind of lowballed, and I'm pretty sure he's a lot more powerful than he looks. It's probably just a matter of visuals. I just wish he was a little stronger. He just pulls up. He's just you want to go? Let's go. Come on, let's go. Now everybody's just shut up. And that's another thing I love about some of these fights sometimes. They just have some, like, comedy relief. It's just, like, so cool. Sinister Springtrap. I don't know. I think it's something different. I don't know. But you might be right, BK. I don't know. He has his little moment. He gets up. I think it's just all for nothing. Oh, yes. Yes. I love this part. I love this part right here. This is the best. This is like the best fight. Scrapberry carries the fight. Yeah, I know she does. I know she carries the fight. And this is where the animation gets you. Oh my god, I love it. Can we just like take a minute to just take in like how much choreography is into that? I mean, I know it wasn't much for just like one shot, but still. Oh, you can just feel the impact of that, and it's just so. Oh, I love it. It's amazing. Yeah, and then of course his whole jaw. It's not just like a jaw. And that's one thing I never picked up on right there. Like his foot, he's not just like. There's gonna be another scene where he's just seen like limping. I thought at first he was just like showing like him doing like a grunt action, but no, he's just actually. I hate this part. Yeah, I hate this part. That's one of the main things I hate about some of these fights is that Bonnie is just so lowballed in the majority of them. Yeah. I kind of wish it was a little brighter so that way I could actually see it. Like, I didn't really even see it. I don't mean to keep rewinding on your body, but right here. It's strong. So that's a 3-kill streak that Scrap Baby has got on her belt right now. She's carried the majority of the team. And then just BAM! Killing streak over. I do wish that Grim Foxy had a little bit better of a chance. Just bam. And that's it, he's done. And then Diablo's just like BAM! Oh, there's Lefty. Now this part had me mad when I first saw it. Dreadbear, how are you gonna let him do this? He's barely even half your size. He's like half your size, and you managed to let him mollywop you like that. Who says mollywop? Why did I say mollywop? Okay, so. Alright, let's get into some other things some other animations I want to talk about. So here we have GUZ Prize, and they've been known to do some okay animations in the past, like even some good ones, some really good ones. But then now we got modern day, and most of the time they're not half bad, you know. Let's like this one, for example. This was like...
Hello, thank you for calling King Up!
Oh my god.
Come on, Miyuki, watch where you're throwing those
I
things!
never understood the point of that. So there was this one, and it's called The Toxic versus the Security Breach Toy Animatronics, or just... I feel like they should have just called them the Glam Rock Toy Animatronics. I feel like that would have been a little bit easier. Now, these aren't like the public versions of the Glam Rock Toy Animatronics. This is like made by somebody else in particular. Like right here, the Blue Bear. He made these models himself, and judging by what I've seen him make in the past, he did a pretty good job with these. Like, these look pretty good. Like, I can almost actually see these being the official models that Steelwool would come up with for the next Security Breach installment if these were the animatronics they based them off of. Some Poppy Playtime 4 music in there. I recognize it. Now, what most people probably don't know is that he just made like a reference there. He made a reference to another video that somebody else made. It was over on Jazz Cinema's channel, but we'll get to that later. It's just like sorry about that, buddy. Get out of here. Okay, so far for what it's worth, this is actually pretty good animation. It's pretty it's pretty nice. It could have used a little more work, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it for what it's worth. Okay, as for this model, I don't really know how I feel about this. It just, like, as if Toy Bonnie didn't already have enough problems looking like a girl as it was. But it's still a pretty unique model. Doctor's ready. That's something that I've noticed a lot sometimes, is that sometimes they just randomly pull a gun out of nowhere, and while it doesn't make sense, it's fun to watch sometimes. It's just like, where'd you even get the gun? So yeah, the fight here it's pretty decent so far. Okay, now this is where the fight kind of peaks up a little bit. Some pretty good effects right there with the animation. I like where that was going. Yeah, this is where it kind of peaks up a little bit. Just that one section. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so far, some of the Bonnies are getting dogged on, sometimes like they usually do. But another thing I want to make note of is, if you're gonna do videos based off of models with security breach, right around here, you gotta make sure you move the shoulder pads. It's a very important, crucial detail that you always gotta do. Because if you don't move the shoulder pads and you make their arms like go up or anything that involves them going through the shoulder pads, then it's just gonna look like they're going through the shoulder pads. So that's really the only other critique I have. So this Glamrock Chica model actually kind of looks pretty identical to... Hang on, let me show a demonstration in a minute. Let me just... Where is it? I know it's here. There we go. So yeah, it actually looks pretty identical to this Chica. It actually looks pretty identical. Like, you can almost fully see the resemblance. Like, wait, hold up. Where's the video? Oh, it's right here. Like, if we put these two side by side, they almost look identical, so I give them props for that. choreography's a little weird too. And Sonic, wait, and Foxy just zooms out like Sonic. It does get pretty creative in terms of like other things. Yep, and once again we have another animation where all the Bonnies are just getting dogged. Unless Toxic Bonnie didn't just die here. Okay, and that was that video. So needless to say, that video was decent. I enjoyed it. And like I said before, in some ways it could use a bit of work, but nonetheless, it's still a pretty good video. It's pretty fun to watch. So I give that one a, I give it a 6 out of 10 as well. It had good intentions, and it's a lot better than the previous ones that Blue has made. Blue, I'm sorry if you see this and you take offense to that, but we're all there sometimes. And as for this, I didn't give this a rating. I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. I give it the 9 because of the animation, but, because I'm kind of biased. And I wish that the outcome of this fight was different. So anyway, now we're going to check out one of my other favorites. So every once in a while, we'll shift away from from like one of these other videos, and we'll go to the peakness of this playlist that I have. And we'll probably only view about like 4 of them. And because we'll be reviewing a bunch of others, and it'll probably total up that way. So we're just going to go ahead and go back. So needless to say, that was a pretty good video. That was pretty good. But we're about to get into one of the best videos. Just mute this ad and then we'll watch it. Alright, let's start that over. Okay, just right off the bat, just start off with an amazing, like, just in that first few seconds, we were already greeted to such amazing animation. And this is obviously back when FNaF AR wasn't as hated as it was, like 4 years ago, back in its prime time when it was actually good. But nonetheless, this doesn't affect the animation. What am I even saying? So good. I love the way how it's choreographed. Another thing that I noticed with like the nightmares back in the day with these animations was that people always left their jaws hanging open. I don't know why, but they always just did. And there's Chica. Sadly, Chica doesn't really do much in this fight. Oh yeah, that's also another thing I noticed too, is that instead of using like the official Nightmare Freddy VR model, they instead use like the other Nightmare Freddy model, like the one by the developer of Five Nights at Candy's. I can't remember his name. It's like or something. Just the visual of that alone is just so entertaining to watch, and it's just so fun. I just can't, like, how can you not get sucked in? Just like the amazing animation. Just like, it's just so And of course, like, you always gotta have like one of those visual gags. It's just like, alright, I'm about to get serious. It's just like, you ruined it. Why did you ruin it? Here comes another common thing that keeps happening on Foxy's end. Right there. Foxy, he always... It's always Foxy. It's always Foxy that accidentally stabs someone in the head with his hook. And it's not even like someone who's just like an enemy of his. It's just... He just does it to someone on his team accidentally. And I think Bonnie is the one who suffers from this the most. And, by the way, PVZ fan... He said, hey, Hi, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoy the stream. I know this isn't usually what I do, but I just felt like doing it today because like a lot of other people were doing it, and I just wanted to see how you guys see what my opinion is on these, because these are amazing. Funny little visual gag of him just like, come on, get out, get out. It's like, oh god, I'm screwed, aren't I? Another thing that I feel like the reason why Chica doesn't really do much in this animation is because the AR models, like with the originals, they for some reason don't have finger rigs. Like, it's not even just like a thing that the person who ported these models into like the workshop did wrong. It's just like something that actually is up with the like it's in the game too. They have just like these default T-pose hands for some reason. I don't know why. It would have been so much better if they had fingers. Yeah, see, like that's not the Nightmare Freddy VR model. That's just like a different model by somebody else. But I think I see why they chose this model, because unlike the VR Freddy model, that one has eyelids that can help show expressions, and that's probably why he chose to do it. Open it! Yeah, Chica just chooses to run. I'm not really sure what they're doing. I'm pretty sure it's just like a cat. Yeah, I don't even know what box is in there. She was booking it so fast that she knocked Fox over. I also love like the visual relationship gag that they just slipped in there. It's just like Springtrap's just like, alright, come on, get up. But also at the same time, get out of my way, I got a fight to do. Yeah, see, like, it's the same thing too with like Nightmare Chica. That's not the official Nightmare Chica VR model. I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. It's just something I noticed, and I just don't really know why they did it. Little animation error right there. Springtrap's left eye is supposed to be blinking, like it's supposed to be closed. But they fixed it. Yeah, they fixed it right there. I'm pretty sure they just realized at some point it's just like, oh shoot, I forgot to leave his eye closed. I just can't get over the fact of how good that choreography is in just a matter of just like a few seconds. Yep. Yeah, like, the reason why that's the only thing that Chica did when it came to fighting Nightmare Chica is, like I said before, it's just like, she just has those T-pose hands, like those default hands that she can't do anything with. Like, she can't make a fist or anything, so she just slaps. I don't even know what happened to Chica after that, because I don't think I even saw her after it. It's just so confident. Oh, Chica's... Okay, never mind. Chica's alive. I never picked up on that for some reason. The realization of that, too. Like, the visuals of him realizing that. It's just like, alright, I got you right where I want you. Wait, what's Chica doing? Ah! Wait, Chica, what are you doing? What are you trying to do? I didn't even notice Foxy in the background. Alright, Foxy is like the background. Hey. Right here. Pay attention to Foxy. Look what he does. And that's the only like limb on his body that's moving. Oh, yep. And then the suicide tactic of possessing someone's body. So yeah. fight animation with like the FNaF AR animatronics that Shadow Bonnie was in. They probably mostly took him out because like he's just too much of a trump card, and they knew if they kept using him, they would have to come up with some like stupid reason for him to lose. And that was it for that video. So I give that video once again another solid 9. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. It was fun to watch. It was like well animated and everything. There's a few things that were a little bit wrong at some point, like I said before, Springtrap's eye right here. It was meant to be closed like the entirety of the rest of the video, but at some point it was open there, so that's a little bit of an error there. And some people probably won't even notice during like this segment right here. But Foxy's hand was like stuck in the default T-pose hand position that it was when you first like port his model into the software. See, like, and nothing is done with it after that. I feel like I'm just nitpicking too much so I can explain what my rating is. But regardless, that's the rating I get. I get a 9.5 out of 10. And oh boy, now we go into Rooster Time. Rooster Time, Rooster Time. What do we want to see from you? Let's check out the toys versus the Withered melodies.
Switch to Chrome to load your favorite sites fast.
Shush you. Alright, so this was another one that was like a long time ago. This was 3 years ago. And I don't know who specifically animated these videos. I don't think they put it in the description. Oh, no, they did. They did put it in the description. So this was the person who did the animation and everything else. So this person's pretty iconic as far as I know. It's like one of the most unique animation styles that, you know, doesn't really stick with me too much, but it has effort put into it. Mostly for reasons like, you know, reasons like this. Yeah, so. But you can tell there's more effort put into it sometimes with certain other things. Oh, nice little story for why the fight is happening right there. That's always nice to include right there. Throw these animatronics out and order new ones. These ones are scaring the kid. I won't make any money if there will be no customers. Get it done. Very forward there, Mr. Acid. So this was by far one of the more, like, yeah, the Withered melodies are one of the biggest fan-made, fan-made FNaF models. Like, they're the most unique, I have to say. I don't know why someone would think, by the way, this isn't me, like, nitpicking or making fun of anyone. I don't know why someone would think to, like, port these into, like, a Withered version of themselves, but it's pretty unique and it's very clever, too. Some of the roles that they, like, the resemblances that they have. I just find it a little weird that Happy Frog is, like, Withered Bonnie. It could just be me, but I don't know who else would have that. So, yeah, I guess let's do it. Yeah, this would tend to be like a lot of the fight choreography, just repeated hits. And Toy Freddy didn't even get a chance to fight at all. Yeah, and then Toy Bomb shows up. Yep. Finish it. Bam. Yep. Now, this is definitely one thing that I'm interested in how this person managed to do with this scene right here. So he drives him through the wall, and usually what sometimes people do is like they spawn in like rock models, just any type of boulder models when someone gets smashed through a wall. and then they just like leave it at that. Like, yeah, he just got smashed to a wall and then he's dead. But no, he actually took the time and effort to like do whatever it was he did here, and not only crash him through the wall, but drag him. And usually sometimes you would probably just see like a bunch of black there, but no, you actually see what's on the other side of the wall. That's an amazing visual. I kind of wish I could. Yeah, he's done. Yeah, and then there's Mr. Hippo, Withered Mr. Hippo, who of course resembles the resemblance of Withered Golden Freddy. And I kind of don't really know why the modeler chose to not use his feet. I guess it was so that it would make more sense of why he would be sick all the time. But yeah, that's like that's a little bit of a complication that some people have to work around if they want to make him stand. Okay, so right now what we're clearly seeing here is a purple withered Happy Frog's face, because you can tell by the way it looks before Mangle even pulls his head up. Like, because the ears are gone, there's no wires there or anything. It's a little questionable of why you chose Happy Frog. I mean, I guess it works, but also at the same time, it's a nice detail in a weird way, I guess. So I give him points for that. And then there's Orbital. That's another nice little detail right there. It gets punched and slammed into a cabinet, and then there's actually a dent. Like, see, look, there's no dent there first. But after getting slammed in there, now there is. So I give points for that. Okay, I kind of question how she got that messed up with just a few stomps on the head. And then there's this. He kind of just takes it upon himself to... Oh god, the inboxes are in the way. To not just rip her hands off, but to steal them. To steal them and just start wearing them. And then now he's just like, yeah, now you know how I feel. Having a broken jaw, no hands. And then he just get back up on the stage. Which I guess it's safe to say that the company after that is basically just doomed, because the animatronics that the kids were afraid of before are now way more messed up looking than they were before. So let me just go to another... There we go. Alright, now, what type of animation should we review this time? I say we review... Hard to say, really. You know, let's review what most of the hype is around with Animation Time, with the constant repeating theme of Poppy Playtime. Oh, wait, I didn't rate that animation. I give that a 7 out of 10. It wasn't the best when it came to visuals of like choreography, but then again, the animator was probably trying to represent what it would actually look like if a bunch of robots did actually fight. So give him points for realism on that one. So yeah, that'll be a 7 out of 10 for me. And the same goes for like all the attention to detail with all that too. Now what we got here is what started the entire theme of what Animation Time keeps doing. This is Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 versus FNaF Security Breach. Now, judging by the views, you would think that there would be a lot more people who would want to see these fights. And judging by the comments, yeah, you would assume so. Alright, so this animator has been around for like a long time. I know of this animator style. Don't know who they are, but at the same time, I just know who it is. I mean, I don't know who it is, but I recognize the style every time I watch this. So, the only problem that I have with this animator, I guess I'll just go into detail with that later. Let's just get it started.
I am still beautiful.
Yeah, that's not really the best visual right there. but it gets better. I'm surprised you didn't see that coming. It's one of the more iconic moves that this animator keeps making these robots do. It's just like the really, like the spin high jump kick.
I bet I'm your favorite.
Okay, now, why would you feel like that's an appropriate voice line for her to say there? Like, I just don't get it in general. Why would you want her to say that? Yep. Yeah, Roxanne, you kind of got a little too cocky there. You kind of deserve that, if I'm being honest. And also, I see what you did there, too. Like, if you pay attention to her hair, there's a thing called, like, root transfer scale, and he probably just applied it to her head and didn't really just, like, make it a stepped thing. And you can just see her head shrink. So, yeah, there goes Roxanne. She's done. Now, this is where the peak in this animation is. This is where it gets really good, where you look at the visuals and you're just like, wow, that's amazing. Like, see, like, even that transition into the next scene was good. Yeah, that was a pretty good transition for the next scene right there. That was good. Yeah, so this is usually where what I like to see the most out of this animation style. Just this style specifically, where like you see like the most of the effort put into it. Or like effort put into the quality rather than the quantity. And then he just comes in like and just barrel it. Just like, what do ya? Like, see, like, even, like, the visuals of showing us how he'd be able to dodge something like that is really good attention to detail, and that's fun to watch. But then this comes up. Yep. I don't really know how that works, how you would be able to, like, spin and direct yourself towards someone in midair, but it's a cool visual, so give it that. And the current animation way of how, like, the quality of what you're seeing now is like, it's like mid. Not even like saying like mid as in like bad, but it's just like mid effort, you know? Like, it's just like, it's a good enough effort, but it's not just all there. It's not fully there. Creative way for a transition there, but nothing too clever. Pulls that out of nowhere. Yep. Realistically, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I do kind of think that Poppy Playtime would win a fight against FNaF. Like, any type of FNaF game, pretty much in general, when it comes to, like, specific characters, someone would win against someone. But, nonetheless, yeah, I do think Poppy Playtime would take the fight. But I do not think, however, that Mr. Light would be able to beat Freddy. I mean, sure, Freddy sucks at fighting when it comes to... I mean, like, let's be honest. This guy sucks at fighting when it comes to actual feats of what he's done when it comes to fighting. I mean, he just got jumped by a bunch of staff bots, so yeah, it doesn't surprise me that he would probably suck at fighting. But if Mr. Light were to go up against someone like Monty, then she would definitely lose. But because, you know, we're only allowed to have one side win, then yeah. Okay, I see what this person is doing here with Catnap's eyes. You may think that it's a custom feature that that the animator added in to make Catnap's eyes look like that, but no, that's just his normal eyes, but they're just pointed downwards. and he's using the side of it just to make it look like Catnap is sleeping, which is a very clever visual. And it would have worked if you would have kept the camera focused on the front of him instead of the side of him. But if you look on the side of him, you can see that his eyes are just pointed down. He can it clearly looks like he can see. And that's another thing that I feel like would be impossible for Catnap to do with his size. I don't think he would be able to vanish that fast. Now that's a little confusing. Can you imagine it just being like... That would definitely be like the effect that Catnap has if he eats like a mint breath or something. He would just get like ice cold sleeping gas breath. Would it be possible for someone like Chica to actually do that? I do not think so. But Monty, without a doubt. Okay, now that kind of doesn't really make any sense. In order for that to work on you, you would need to breathe that in. But, you know, Chica doesn't have lungs and she doesn't need to breathe. So that would not work, like, at all. But, you know, for the sake of it working in Catnap's favor, yeah, he had to do it. We'll just have that ready. And for that fight, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. It had good visuals in some ways. Like, it was visually impressive when it came to Monty's fight. But nonetheless, like, the rest of it was... Like, the two other fights with Freddy and Chica, those were good segments. But with Roxanne's portion, it was not good. It was you could tell how rushed it was. Anyway, next up we got is the Nightmare VR versus the Withered. I've seen a few people react to this, like a few big-time YouTubers react to this before, but sadly some of them were pretty slow on it, so we're just going to go ahead and get into it. Chica just listening to the song. We just got to appreciate like how fast as it was for Chica to think like that. She thought as she was getting choked, push herself over from the chair, use the momentum of the force of her pushing herself to knock him down, and then slam him up against the wall, shin him, but then he was fast to think too, and just rips off her hand. And of course, there's a cartoon visual gag there too, where she's just like, she tries to flee, but she gets caught. She's like, oh no, and he's dragged back. And then there's Bonnie coming out of the restroom. Matt, you would like piss your pants if you saw that. Like, legit, if you just walked out of the bathroom after you got done using the toilet, and you just walk out and you see that staring at you, you would just you would be terrified. I would turn white visually. And then it would just roar at you, and then you would just be even more terrified. Bonnie's guitar, that's gonna be a crucial weapon that people are gonna be using. Now, the only problem that I have with this right now is that this is going to make sense later on in the animation, but it's done slightly wrong. I know I'm nitpicking, but still, that's just how I review these. Yep. Take his face off. Here's Freddy. I like how Balloon Boy's just there. I didn't even comment on Balloon Boy yet. That animation alone was just so well done. yeah, that's just amazing right there. Jake Allen, you love FNaF? We all do, buddy. That's why we're here. And not to mention, like, the animation with him sliding and picking up the guitar at the same time. That was so well done. Oh, yep. Setup. Batter up. Now, what I love about that part is that you could have just, like, put a few, like, random, just, like, keyframes in there with Foxy, just, like, Nightmare Foxy just going all over the place. And you just could have called it a day there. But no, you actually took the liberties of making it look like it was, you know, actually logical. Like, it actually looked, that's how it would actually look if you actually saw that in real life. And I don't even know how the animator managed to pull that off. That is amazing, because you can't just, like, detach his head and just make it and just, like, do the rest of the movements there. No, the head is attached to that body. So if you were to try to pull that head off, like, not only do you have to, like, try to find a way for his body to fly over there separately from his head, but the head also is locked in with the jaw. So you had to disconnect the jaw too. And I don't know how they managed to do that. Do I know that there are FNaF battles with health bars? Yeah, I know about them. I don't really watch those because they're just these re-uploaded and then just with, like, one simple edit of just, like, health bars going down. I'm not really too fond of them, but, you know, they just exist, so I just choose to let them be. It's not really like, you know, the health bars really do anything wrong, but they kind of do, because they're kind of just, like, on the screen, and it kind of just, like, covers up the rest of the visuals that you're seeing, so it's not really, I don't really think it's too clever of a choice for content-wise. And another thing I forgot to mention again, they're using the non-official Nightmare VR models. Again, I still don't know why they choose to do that. That's a conscious choice. Yep, once again, another good animation segment right there. With just, like, the guitar, it's flying through the air, and then it just hits. It hits, and even the impact of the animation there looks like, it just looks like it was, there's so much thought put into it. The impact, you just feel it. Yeah, and then you got Balloon Boy. He's trying to help, but at the same time he's not helping. He's just like, bro, you couldn't give me, like, a heads up before you did that? And don't worry, for anyone who's wondering why Balloon Boy's here, he serves a purpose, don't he? Yep. It was at this moment that Foxy had knew. He effed up. Such good impact animation. I love it. I love it so much. That's a little cheap. I kind of wish he would have been getting jumped in a different way, but no. He just had to be getting jumped that way. Yep. And then Balloon Boy decides, you know what? It's time to stop being Balloon Boy and be Balloon Man. I'm jumping in. Yep. Now, I love that scene. Like, out of the majority of Foxy fighting, that's one of my favorite scenes that he does something. He's just like, well, I guess I just better accept my fate. And then he's just like, oh, wait. Shoot, I got reinforcements. Come on, let's go now. Come on. And of course, since it's Balloon Boy, it can't last forever. He can only do so much. Oh, I love that. I love that. It's just... It's clever because it's just like using whatever you can to survive, but it just so happens that Bonnie's face just so happened to be right there. It's just like, and he's just like, you did not just hit me with another version of me. His face. It's such a sick roll right there. Like right here, it's such a sick roll. It's kind of unnecessary because all he could have done was just like jump backwards, but he just did it for the cool visual, and I respect it. Freeze frame. Yep, he wasn't dead. He's back and now he's ready to whoop some ass. BAM! I love that moment. That's one of my favorite moments right there. Grabs his face, just jumps through the air, impales him with a table leg. That's just amazing. That is so well thought out. And I'm pretty sure the table was placed there before too, which is clever too. It's amazing. Withered Bonnie just joined. Hey, what's up? Now, the one... Okay, I'll get to that later. Yep. It's just a funny visual gag of just Chica somehow being alive without her head. But then again, it makes sense because chickens can live without their head for a few days, so they can just put that back on. It's fine. Yeah, it's just like, nah, I'm fine. So the one thing that I was bringing up with, like, critiquing was, like, the animator purposely messed Bonnie up, like, killed him off early, presumably visually killed him off early to make him seem like he was dead, only for him to come back as Withered Bonnie. But the one thing that he did wrong was Withered Bonnie, in this part right here, we clearly see his right arm got ripped off. Yeah, that's his right arm that got ripped off. But instead, with the normal Withered Bonnie model, we see that his left hand was actually ripped off. So there's a little bit of, I'm pretty sure it was like a miscalculation on the animator's part, but nonetheless I can forgive it because this is what he intended for, and I guess it was too late for him to realize that he accidentally messed up when he's like, oh shoot, I ripped off the wrong hand. Well, I'm not gonna restart that whole animation and scene just to show his... Yeah, he would have had to reset like 2 animation scenes. But it was worth it in the end because then we got to see this. Yes, I love that moment. That's such a sick moment. So, yeah, I will give this one a fair rating of a solid 9.8 out of 10. It was entertaining. It was very well animated, and just everything in general about it was just like amazing. It was just so fun to watch. Everyone had their moments and everything. Chica didn't really have much of her moments, but you know, she still had a moment where she fought back a little bit. But anyway, now to get on to another interesting topic that I'd like to talk about. Okay, we're about to witness some really bad quality with what I'm about to bring up on the screen with whatever I choose.
Become the master of the air, the thunder of the seas, or a...
Did I say you could play? Okay, depending on what I choose here. Oh boy. Oh god, oh god. Alright, what is it that I'm gonna show on the screen right now? Not that, that's a good one. The matchup is pretty obvious of who would win that fight, but it's... Alright, how far down should I go for this? Well, I think that's actually about as bad as it gets. Yeah, it's probably actually about as bad as it gets. I think. Yeah, I think that's about as bad as it gets up there. Okay, so we're gonna talk about... this animation style. Now this has always been a thing. It just wasn't as noticed as before, but it was still noticed nonetheless. So I think I'll show it with this. Now we're gonna get into some hardcore criticism, because this is just ridiculous to me. How people just get away with that, and how some people these days, they're just too polite in the comments. This animator in particular is like one of the worst I've seen, and I know that's very rude of me to say, but you'll see what I mean the second I hit play on this. First of all, the setup doesn't really make any sense to me. Like, gladiators with circus animatronics. The least you could have done was put this, like, make this setup at least seem like it's in, like, a circus or something like that. You couldn't think of something like that? Oh, yeah, I completely forgot to mention the fact that ever since the Amazing Digital Circus blew up, people like GUC Prize and Rooster Time just jumped on this trend as soon as they could. Like, if I can just go to the... Yeah, see, like, they're doing it everywhere. And look, they got AR videos of just, like, frozen candies and, like, glitched or whatever. Neon candy and just... Oh, God, it's just... They hopped on this the second... What I don't like about Rooster Time these days is that it's just a content farming channel now. That's all it is to me. Whether you hate this already? Yeah, I see that. I understand you. You get me. You get me. Like, I don't even see why this fight needed to happen. Like, did we really need this? Was it really worth it? Just, why? That's not logical in the slightest. Pomni has never showed these feats before. And you can already tell just by the way of how the hands are moving here that there's no rigs. Like, there's no rigs applied to the limbs or anything. And it's just like... I kind of used to do this too back in the day, but before I even posted my first video, I used models that had rigs. And like that's not even how that would look. Is weak and small. Yeah. And also, can we just take a minute to talk about this? I already know so well of how you did this. You just took her spine bone and then just moved it. You didn't give it any rotation. You didn't move her pelvis or anything. You just took her lower spine and then just bam, you just stretched it up to make it look like she headbutted. And it wasn't even like a full headbutt motion either. And also right there, normally when someone gets slammed against the wall, their back is at least straight, you know, like facing forward, completely straight, not just twisted. Yeah, and you'll be seeing a lot of that too. I didn't even know that happened. Because, dude, this is just embarrassing. I cannot believe someone dares to call themselves an animator for this. He just comes out of nowhere. You couldn't even show the full visual of her just like going off screen. It just looks like she got kicked a few feet into the sky and now all of a sudden she's in space. Shows up. Now, before we even get into depth before what we see Jax do, I just want to go on the record that that is not the best Jax model. I mean, I've seen worse, but that model could definitely use some work. Let's go ahead and run a replay on that one. That was like by far the most stiff motion ever, yet somehow it was a better visual than anything else. And that's another thing too. Like, he did that position right as he hit the ground, and therefore it didn't even look like he hit, like he didn't even fall. It just looked like he did that pose while falling down. Yeah, that's real funny. Fart sound effects. Yeah. Yeah, even when he smiles, that model does not look right to me. I've seen PK use it, but still, I feel like he needs a better model because that does not look right. Well, I did it the first time. Let's go ahead and see that in instant replay again and count everything that was wrong with that. First of all, what the hell is this pose? What is wrong with Jax's arm? And also, did Clown Freddy enable note clipping? Because he's literally clipping right through Jax. That was probably supposed to be some kind of slow-mo visual effect where it would look like it would all be in slow motion, and it just, like, for him to, like, wheeze by him after he got kicked in the face, but he did it wrong, dude. So wrong. And the worst part is, when people watch this, they say it's peak. And I'm just like, bro, do you live under a bridge? And of course, you can't even bother to pose the fingers either. Also, why is his jaw always open? I have no words. I have no words. What am I looking at? That could have worked with any other custom model. Like, you have, like, Withered animatronics that are modeled around the theme of McDonald's. You couldn't do, like, something, like, I don't know, maybe like a makeup bomb or something? But no, you chose a hamburger. Cheeseburger. Whatever it is. It doesn't freaking matter. And then there's Jax just breaking his whole upper spine just to look behind him. You know how lots of people say that... I get so many comments of people, like, saying in the first Glamrock Bonnie Saves Monty's series that Bonnie had so much time to, like, move out of the way. That's even slower than what I've done. That's even slower than what I have done. What I did there. But at least I tried to show it in a slow motion visual. But no, like, that's just... And then to top it all off, you couldn't even add in a particle. Like, you can add particles. Like, you didn't even choose to add particles. You just chose to take a scene out of the... What is this, SpongeBob? I haven't seen SpongeBob in a long time. And now he's just discombobulated. Do I even need to say anything? Do I even need to say anything? And you couldn't even bother to put in the full animation of him getting stopped. You just froze him in place. Look, dude, I get animation may be hard for you, but at least try to pick up some tips, or at least try to get some inspiration from other people who have done way better than you have at this point. I paused it and judged it the second before it even... Okay, that's going to be another instant replay moment. Let's go ahead and see everything that went wrong there. First of all, the tracking there, like with the hand motion and the body motion, even I can pull off something better than this. Like, how do you mess that up? I don't know how you can even think to mess that up. Or, like, even, like, rush it to the point where it looks that bad. Like, he's note clipping through his hand. And that's the third time we've had that visual gag of just like someone laying on the floor like that, just discombobulated. And that was that dumpster fire of an animation. So, needless to say, that one was literally just a 0. I can't even put in the words. It was sloppy, it was rushed, there was barely any thought put into it, and it was just bad in general. Look, this animator needs to take, just like, here's my tip. Take a few notes, watch some other people, take notes, think of all the details that you would want to put in a good animation, and then give it a shot. That's what I did. I took some notes, and then I tried doing what other people did. And look where that got me. So that was that video. So let's go ahead, and I think this will be the last peak video that we watch for this stream. And then we'll just call it a day. So, this is by far my all-time one of my most favorite Five Nights at Freddy's animation videos. This was the first one I saw that even got me into animation in the first place. This is the corrupted animatronics versus the rockstars. So, needless to say, we are in for a treat here. If you are people and you're thinking about leaving right now, if you're thinking about leaving in the stream, I'd recommend that you stay because you are in for a treat. And I'd recommend for any other people who did leave the stream to come on back because we are just in for a full treat here. Just already off the bat, just amazing animation. Yes. It's just like... It's just... Already, it's amazing. No words. Like, even that head transition, even though if it was just like a simple, just like taking off Rockstar Freddy's head and then just replacing it with that, it was still handled amazing. Just the quick reactionary time that Bonnie had to just take his guitar and just throw it down his mouth. I did not mean to do that. It's just an amazing visual. I'm not really sure. Not really sure why he thought that was going to stop it. Not really too sure if I'm agreeing with the current person who's writing in chat right now. Can't really say the name because it's hard for me to make out, but I hope you're not talking about this animation because this animation is a good one. If you're talking about the previous one, then yes, I agree with you. But this one is peak. Here comes my favorite part. Just hands are off the keyboard and I'm just like, I nearly stood up out of my chair. Like, how can you disrespect this? Like, look at that. I want to show that again in an instant replay, but this time it's a good instant replay. Now, unlike with the previous one, you may notice, yeah, there's some slight motions where you see like the hands clipping through some things, but still, at least it's not as bad as the previous one. And at least here, it actually looks like it's realistic. Now, someone being able to pull that off in real life would be near impossible, probably. But this, in general, is just peak. Oh, the choreography is so good. I love it. Oh, even the way of how they handle this. It's amazing how they handle this too. How hard is it to animate? Not too hard when it comes to certain things, like, I guess, like, when you get the hang of it and you start practicing some more, it doesn't become too hard, but it does, when you have your own expectations for how you want your animations to turn out, it can be pretty hard and pretty, emotionally draining sometimes if it doesn't come out the way you want it to. But eventually, at some point with enough practice, you can get there. Yep, there it is. Foxy just pulls out a magnum. If that's not a magnum, I'm sorry. No, it's a musket. I think that's what it's called. It's called a musket. That's the most replayed part right there. Just like the part where they just... That's such a good visual gag. I love it. It's amazing. If someone had any plans to like recreate this fight, I swear to God, I would critique and like review it just like any way I could. Like, I would just make sure to do that. You just joined? Welcome to the stream. This is also the animation that so many other people who aren't really big time FNaF fans have reacted to, who have their own YouTube channels and everything. And it's just, it's amazing to see how this came around. And not to mention, like, yeah, like the planning and everything, that's amazing. They planned that out and everything. They planned to lure him into that and then just string up the music gets hard too. Now, fun fact about this is that the current like location, like the map that they're on, is actually a separate map. Like they actually made it look like if we go back here, they're in the FNaF 1 establishment. But after they run and they go through those hallways, they go to this map. They go to this map, and it makes it look like it's part of the entire establishment, which is amazing. It's an amazing visual. Alright, enough about how great this is. Let's actually progress in some graphic stuff. Happy ending plots, we of course get a moment where Rockstar Freddy just reverts back into his normal self. It's a nice little add-in to it. So that way he actually gets a chance to fight. Yep, now he's ready to go. Yep, Bonnie's still about. Bonnie's still out and about. I also love the running animation. It's so unique. The last one was bad. Okay, good. I'm glad you established that because because I would have not agreed with you in the slightest bit if you were saying that this one was bad, because this one is my favorite out of all of them. This is what got me into it. This is what got me invested. This is what wanted me to get into animation myself, so I can make something like this better. I probably won't in this exact style, but I'll definitely try. Like, there's already a fight I have been making that takes inspiration from this style of fighting, but it's probably not going to be perfected as well. I'm just going to try my best. See, like even the way of how the impact of her slamming into that table, that's even something that I don't even know how to do right. Like, I don't know how to do that right. I think it has something to do with both, like, the animation visuals and, like, the way how the camera. Like, you probably could see, like, that slight little jitter movement in the camera that's capturing all this. But also, at the same time, it had something to do with the animation. Amazing first-person perspective. Yeah, now Bonnie's back. Now he gets more of a chance to fight. Yeah. Team it up on him. My only question is, how does a musket have that many shots in it? How does a musket have multiple shots? I'm pretty sure you would have to, like, fire it once and then just, like, reload. That's how muskets work, right? It's not a gun, at least I might know how muskets. But yeah, and then corrupted Chica. I swear, out of all of the corrupted animatronics, I think corrupted Chica gets, like, dogged on the most. It's like, yeah, that works. Yeah, good job. Obviously, yeah. Bonnie makes sure he gets the job done. Yeah. What else is there to say about this? What else is there to say? It's like by far the most amazing animation of Five Nights at Freddy's on YouTube. And look how many views and likes it has. That's amazing. Like 46 million views. I've never even come close to that. I'm only like 40 million views down to that path. And this many likes, I haven't even come close to 100,000 likes. So yeah, needless to say, this one is by far the best of the best out of any Five Nights at Freddy's animation. Like, the rest of the things I have in this playlist are good too, but this one just takes the cake in every other category. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's so well animated, there was so much care and effort put into it. The music, it goes along so well with the choreography and everything. It's just everything that I could wish for an animation. It's just amazing. Denor. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I'm glad to hear you like the Glamrock Bonnie Saves Monty series. I'm really glad to hear that. Okay, so I think we will watch one more, and then we'll wrap up the stream because it's like getting late. It's almost midnight from where I'm at. So we're just gonna watch this one, and then we'll call it a day. This is. And then, I don't know, maybe if you guys want, I'll do another stream like this if I feel like it. So, this is Help Wanted 2 versus the Nightmare Security Breach animatronics. And if you don't know what the Nightmare Security Breach animatronics are, you're about to find out. It's pretty self-explanatory for the title. Now, this is once again animated by Wall TV, and once again, I think this is one of his more better animations. Because it has, like, it has a lot more time and effort put into it and all that stuff. And it's just. So, yeah. And there's a lot more fighting in it, too. Like, well more laced out fighting and everything. Yep, there's Roxy in her nightmare form. just walks away. Sorry, I just had to let that play out. Now, needless to say, these models of the Nightmare Security Breach animatronics are really dope looking. I really like the way of how they're made. At first, they didn't look like this before. They actually kind of looked like grayish for some reason. I don't know why, but I guess they improved the models later on. But they look really cool, especially Monty with his freak hairstyle. And there's Freddy. That's like a nice little reference back to the previous animation, Foxy having a musket. I'm sorry if I'm saying the wrong name of that guy. Foxy having a sword. And even with like an animation visual like that of Monty's arm getting cut off, I don't really know how you're able to pull something that amazing off while making it look good. Like, especially with like rigs, because rigs don't allow you to like separate the arms like that. Take your time. I'll still be here watching your videos. Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you. And then you have Cassie for some reason. I don't really know why she's here. I don't hate Cassie or anything. It's just like, what is she gonna do? Other than just like run away. She can't really fight. Yep. It's just like Chica's not even there. They don't even care. Not really sure how it works, but it just does. That's a pretty sharp sword. It might cut through chains. Yeah, some other people watched this animation. They critiqued it and everything. They praised it too. But yet there's other animations that are done by the same guy, but they just chose to rush through it, just like, and they complained the entire time. And I was just like, bro. No one's forcing you to watch these. You can watch these on your own time. But I can see why they praise it, because it's a really good video. And of course, there's Cassie, you know, showing us that Roxy is her favorite. Of course. But of course, since it's a nightmare version of Roxy, they, There's nothing I can say, it's just perfect. Yeah, there's really nothing I can really say, it's just a really good video. Like, even if I were to tell you that this video is bad somehow, like, for some reason, if I were to tell you that this is a bad video because, for whatever reason, I wouldn't even believe myself. Like, this video has too much time and effort put into it. Basically, Roxy and Monty are the ones that are really fighting right now.
Don't get distracted.
Because Chica's just a torso. She's still alive, but she's just a torso. And Freddy's dead. Ah, yep. Raising the stakes a little bit. I'm sorry, but he looks ridiculous without his mask on. Oh yeah, there's this.
Now, let's see how it is.
Now, I could definitely see something like that happening. I just don't really think he'd slide that much. I think he'd more just slip. That was also a sick moment right there. Oh wait, I didn't even notice. You can't see the sword anymore. Why is that? Yeah, just having him slide into you and then just ramming your body into the sword that's already impaled him. Yeah, Chica doesn't die here. Like, Nightmare Glamrock Chica, she doesn't die. Lots of people question that visual, but it makes sense. Because, you know, she's a wolf. And I'm pretty sure that's what wolves do before they pounce on their prey. Give you a swift kick in the pants, Roxy. And there's just... Okay, don't get me wrong. Hold up. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is that a Senator Armstrong reference? Because he does the same thing. He gets like thrown to the side and then he just like looks underneath him but in between his legs and then just sees.
What's wrong? Am I too fast for you?
Yep. Nice baiting, Foxy. Now my only complaint about this, I know it's hard for me to hear, for some of you to hear, but I actually do have a complaint regarding this. I kind of wish there was a little bit more of fighting in this animation, because usually when Wald usually did these in the past, he usually made them go really hard. But usually this is like one of those other new fight scenarios that he came up with where it's just like the prey running from the predators. And there's nothing really wrong with that. It's just, you know, seeing the full-on fledged fights is just so much more entertaining. But this is entertaining too, nonetheless. But the other style is a lot more entertaining. And usually when stuff like this, like things like fan service visuals happen, it's usually really fun to watch. I usually enjoy watching all of these like visuals go down, but I just wish there was a little bit more action, fighting. Like things happening right here. Just a little bit more of that and I'd be more satisfied. But it's still a great video nonetheless. And another complaint that I have is that I think usually when Wald does these and whenever he makes like a security breach video with like Roxy and Glamrock Chica fighting in it, usually like those two are like the main carriers. And it would be an okay thing if every once in a while they would carry the team. But no, it's almost like frequently, like almost every video that Roxy and Glamrock Chica carry the team. And I don't really have much of a problem with that if it was just like every once in a while. Like just like, yeah, just do it in this video and maybe this one they're just not as useful. But no, it's almost every video that they're in. And it's a little annoying sometimes. And sometimes whenever they do lose, they get off way more easier than the other guys do. Like for example, Roxy only just got punted into this sign. Just got punted into that sign and then like nothing else happened after that. Chica is still alive. The only bad thing that happened to her was she just got her torso separated from her body. Meanwhile, we got characters like Freddy who get crushed. And then there's Monty who literally gets impaled. Like, you see what I mean? Like, Roxanne and Glamrock Chica get off way easier than these two do. And it's just a constant reoccurring thing that I've noticed. I'm not criticizing the animation for it because it's still great, but still, regardless, I just kind of wish that was something that didn't happen as often. I kind of at least wish that they wouldn't get off as easy as the other two did. But anyway, I think that's about all we can cover for today. We've been almost at this for like 2 hours now. I had fun. You guys have had fun. And hopefully this little live stream video will be a lot more impactful than I hoped it will be. Chica became the new Monty. That is something I didn't not even think about, and you are absolutely right there. I did not even think about that. Oh man. But yeah, needless to say, I had a good time. I hope you guys had a good time too, but I think it's about time we wrap this up. Thank you all so much for joining. I'd like to thank my good friend PK for also joining in on the stream too. Go subscribe to him. He's a good guy. He's a good content creator too. And subscribe to his friends' channels and all that stuff. And please, while you're at it, subscribe to Animation Time. Subscribe to GUZ Prize and maybe Rooster Time if you feel like it. But definitely, without a doubt, subscribe to Animation Time for at least gracing our presence with this amazing video right here. I just can't get over it. So yeah, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. And hopefully next time I'll choose to do something else.